Okay, so what we got here is I don't know if you know if you've watched the other video, but I've been charging this FR Sky 2000 milliamp 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride battery, and it goes to this Taranis Plus remote. Okay, and I've been using the port on the side, using my power supply, my bench top, to match the normal output to the transformer that goes to that. So what I ended up with, my settings were 15 volts at 1/2 amp or 500 milliamps. And it's been charging. It's up to like 5 or 6 volts now, but it's been charging a majority of the weekend. Because it's only going through the transmitter, which something's wrong with the charging circuit on it. Because going through the transmitter, it is charging at 0.027 amps and 0.495 watts. So it's taking forever. So I'm going to use a different strategy. So what I'm going to do is, in all of the the drone parts kits that I've gotten here recently, I've had a bunch of connectors and stuff. And so this is the default battery connector. I'm going to make an adapter to charge this with a IMAX 6B Plus. I'm going to use the Finercia HSO2A soldering iron at 100% power, 20 volts on my power supply. If you want the details to how to run this iron at full capacity, check out my other videos. The information is out there. No pun intended. So what we're going to start with is I've got a bunch of these connectors. A bunch came in the parts lots that I got, and I had some with the chargers I bought. And so this is just a small connector, and I've got like 3 or 4 of these, so I'm sacrificing one so I don't have to make up the whole end. So this is the T connector that's normally on the end of that, which will go straight into my charger. And what I did was cut a couple of pieces of heat shrink, and this is a larger piece. You'll see the purpose of it later on. This is another piece. You'll see the purpose of it. And then we got these 2 smaller pieces to go over this connection. So what I'm going to do is tin these tips and tin these tips. And I believe I'm going to just go ahead and break the center pin off, because it is really and truly not needed. This may be overkill here, because I'm only using the 2 outer pins. See if we can get that to break off pretty even. And hopefully it doesn't just pull out completely. And if it does, that doesn't matter. No big deal. I don't really care. But there's no matching female connection on the plug. Yeah, there we go. Got it off. There's no matching female plug on this connector. See, you got the 3 prongs in there, the 3 in there, but there's only the outside 2 that are populated. So let's go ahead and get some Kessler on here. It only takes this iron a second or 2 to heat up. Okay, good. The idea was to get a solder ball on that, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's on there and soldered good. Now this type of connector you want to do quickly. You don't want to take your time on it, because simply you're going to melt it. And if you missed the video on soldering a T60 connector, check it out. I used a heat sink on it. I don't have anything for something like this. Okay. No, I'm not turning it off. I'm leaving it going because, I mean, there's not a reason to. Because I'm not going to just have it sitting there for a long period of time. And this shield keeps it from getting too hot for anything you're putting it against or anything like that. Okay, so now we're going to match black wire for black wire and red for red. Yeah, just clip it off. You know, why did I do that? I still don't have my air gun out, so I'm going to need that. Here we go. Okay, don't spend too much time up front because you will you will melt those connectors pretty quick. Now I'm just running this up on there to kind of tidy things up a little bit more. Make sure we don't have anything. Yeah, that little tit I should have clipped it off, but oh well. This will seal things in place. So the point of multiple heat shrinks is to have the wires pretty stationary so that they don't tend to move around a lot. You want that connection to be solid and where you put it, and to stay where you put it. And heat shrink, if you're using direct flame, you'll burn it, but kind of rubbing it with the soldering iron like this on all sides, it'll shrink up really good, and you can get it to shrink completely to the full extent that it will. You have heat shrink that will shrink really, really small, and then some that really, really don't. So now I'm going to kind of seal it all up with this. Now I'm not going to go all the way across the connector. All I'm trying to do is get it on my main connector there. Okay, and so I'll need to clean this up, my tip. But I don't recommend you use the actual tip of the iron, because then you'll need to clean it and you won't be able to solder good. But on that larger heat sink that's on that tip, I find it really good to use it to heat shrink down, and it works good. You don't have issues, and you don't mess your iron up. If you don't have that large sink on your iron, that's okay too. I mean, you can still use the shaft of the iron, which is hot enough to heat shrink tubing. And so now I have a adapter for one of these days. I'm going to use up all this solder, and I'm going to start on some of my new electronic solder off of one of those kits. So now here is what I got. I saved these connectors because I can reuse it. So this is my IMAX B6AC V2 charger, and we're going to use its nickel metal hydride feature to charge this battery. And I will cut away and we'll come back and start that process. So right here, I've got this connector here. I didn't even know that spun on there. Never checked it. But it's polarity set. I mean, you can plug it in either way, which is, you can do that, but it will alert you when you reverse polarity. But it's color coded. Red goes to red, and you can't help but plug it in correctly. And now this T6 connector, I can plug it in here, and now I've got a adapter for this, and it'll work just fine. Now I did not use that middle pin, but it would have been probably a good idea to have connected it to either, looped it over to either negative or positive. And then I could conceivably take any other connector, like say this right here, and which this isn't correct, but plugging it into one side or the other side, and charged a different battery like this, but only with, instead of the connectors spaced like this, it would only be a 2-pin connector. Could get it to fit in there. I don't recommend you do anything like that. You do that at your own risk. Anything outside of any manufacturer specification is a danger. So I'll be right back in just a second, and we will get this set up to charge. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.